Hello everybody and welcome to another Playing with Pixels video. I'm Mitch and joining me is Dr. Merlockstein.
How's it going everybody? Ishnuallah and welcome back.
So, BlizzCon was the thing and they announced World of Warcraft Shadowlands.
Can I say before you start, it was kind of leaked before BlizzCon. Did you ever know that?
Yeah. Did I ever know that? Yes, I did know that. And that's actually a much better way to start because... And there was that little pamphlet about the Shadowlands that was 100% real.
Not only that, like, I was shown, posters and shirts of Shadowlands before BlizzCon was even out.
Did you see the image of the Lich King from the cinematic?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see,
Dead giveaway much.
Overwatch 2, Diablo 4, all this stuff is really leaked. Actually, it's a good place to jump off, which is the cinematic, which is how they open up every new expansion. That was actually a good pun because Sylvanas literally opens up the roof.
She raised the roof.
She raised the roof.
She came in, she started a party, she raised the roof. Wow.
Yeah, so basically, she wanders into Icecrown Citadel, literally defeats everyone, Bolvar included.
Kind of just casually. You just watch the undead just like, hey, how's it going? And she's just like, hey, yeah, I'm coming through. I gotta talk to your boss. I want to see your manager.
Okay, Karen.
Oh, she Karen'd it up alright.
Well, the thing that's interesting, I think, is that she basically tears the Helm of Domination in half. And it's interesting because this expansion actually changes the entire lore of how Frostmourne and that helmet even came into existence.
Mm-hmm.
And what is revealed as she raises the roof is in basically upside down Citadel just above Icecrown Citadel, which to me is interesting because it's the closest point on Azeroth to the realm of the dead, basically.
I guess other than Bonsomti's place, the Necropolis, but yeah, it would be the closest place.
Well, you see how high Icecrown raises into the sky.
Yeah.
So basically it also means that Nazariem didn't make Frostmourne the Helm of Domination, but my theory is they are more related to the Shadowlands than we think.
Well, okay, going by more closely related to Shadowlands, I'd say... Even though they have their own homeworld, which, Illidan and that dude go to and f*** up.
Yep.
I believe maybe the Demon Lords would be,
Nazariem.
Thank you. Would be from, Maldraxxus. Spoiler.
Or Ravendreth or whatever. Revendreth?
I would say, because...
It's vampire.
I would say the Undead area. Or maybe from a zone... between the two.
The more. Yeah, you think you destroyed it in Halo 1, but it's still there.
But that does change a lot of lore, because, a lot of people have gone through the game with, Kill Jaden turning Ner'zhul into the armor and all that, So where does he play into it then? That's
true. They never really talk about how demons can enter the Shadowlands as well, despite them not being able to be destroyed unless they're actually killed in the Twisting the Other. So you wonder if the links the demons have are they can travel there as easily as we seem to, because we're the Maw Walker.
If Ner'zhul was the helm and she broke it, that means he's free. So where does he play into it?
Does he go into the Shadowlands?
Do we get to go be buddies with Ner'zhul?
Or has the spirit been so f***ed up that he doesn't go anywhere, he's just gone? Find out next time on probably another patch. But jumping into one of the other big things before we get too into the lore, which was already too late, we already got into it.
Oh, no, we're into it now. We dove too deep.
We're deep into the lore now. Alright, so moving on from everything about the cinematic to actually getting down into what actually is in this expansion, the Shadowlands. What are they? What are they doing? Where did they go? So just a quick run through of all the zones. There is Bastion, not the robot from Overwatch.
Did you see the concept art of that? There could be a Bastion robot there. There could be a cameo.
True, the concept art they showed for that was phenomenal. I love what they showed of it. Didn't really come into play with the actual zone to me.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted desert with blue buildings, but anyway, I like deserts. So basically they're ruled by the Kyrian, the forebears of spirit healers, and the Valkyr. It's an order and purposeful land where the souls of the dead who liked order and purpose. And the only other bit of information we got is Uther's chilling there, because he's dead, if you didn't know.
Uther, the one, the only, the
Lightbringer.
They move over Tyrion Fortree, but there's an Uther here.
Wouldn't Forging be there too? They're like hanging out in little paladin corner.
You'd think so. You'd think like all the heroes of the Silver Hand would be like chilling out somewhere.
Yeah, they built their own little place in Bastion.
Yeah, they're just like, screw Bastion. We're gonna go sit out in the outskirts, make our own little fort. Blackjack and horse.
Yeah. Basically that. But it's a interesting zone. It's like trees. It's like, it doesn't feel like the Shadowlands, because it feels more like, I guess, heaven even. It's where the good people go. It's the good place. So
good show.
I just binge watched all of it.
It's a good show. It reminds me of Diablo Heaven.
It reminds you of Diablo Heaven, which I'm pretty sure the same designers in Blizzard have some part of it.
Most likely. But that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of like the Heaven there, especially like the name Bastion.
Bastion.
Like that is straight up almost angelic in a way.
Well, you're in a place surrounded by angels.
Well, yeah, but like just
spirit healers and Valkyrie who guide you.
You think of a place. You think of Shadowlands, and then you hear a place called Bastion.
That's where I want to be.
You feel like, there you go. There's the opposite of the Shadowlands. There's the Lightbringers, the angelic type Archeons, and all that. You know. So
basically, Shadowlands means whether you're good or bad, you end up here. So talking about, well, it's not really the worst one, but it is interesting because it's Maldraxxus. It's kind of like a spider-infested fungal desert, I think is the best way to explain it.
It's pretty.
It's pretty if you're a Death Knight. Someone here mains one.
Hey, not where I'll be taking my Death Knight very much. But I have thought about it.
Maldraxxus is a zone that's basically where the undead originate. It's ruled by a Necrolord Covenant. We'll get into Covenants later, but it's a very important part. It's basically the heart of the Shadowlands military might, as they say. Interesting how the Afterlife needs soldiers.
Very interesting.
Yeah, so it's basically people who were, they did everything they could to fight, really. So, oddly enough, Draka, Thrall's mother, is here.
Which I'm rather concerned about why she's there. I mean, yeah, she did everything she...
Is she a zombie?
Yeah, why is she in a place of Necrolords?
Yeah, so really they're all like... it's a land of the undead. Does that mean everyone who gets sent here is undead? I don't know, it looks very Nerubian-like designs, I think.
Probably where they got the ideas from,
Definitely where they got their designs from.
Hey, Blizzard, give me the Nerubian Empire as a place to raid. Go and do it, I dare you.
And a playable race. What if it is where the Achaea, the Nerubians, like all that? What if they are actually Maldraxxians? Somehow made it out of it.
Possibly.
I don't know, because there's lots of spider web everywhere, which makes it look really scary. And if you hate spiders...
You're gonna love Maldraxxus. #1 vacation spot.
So moving on to basically the complete opposite in every single way is the zone called Ardenwald.
Ardenweald?
Which is...
Wald?
Ardenweald?
Wald? Weald?
Ardenweald. That's what it's called.
Ardenweald.
Torbjorn. Anyway, it is a enchanted fairy forest ruled by not the Satyr, the Night Fae. They look suspiciously similar. It's the Emerald Dream's Dark Mirror, which unfortunately the Emerald Dream has gotten darker anyway because of the Nightmare. Or at least redder.
I wouldn't say it's the Dark Mirror, I'd just say it's like the opposite of seasons. Like the Emerald, from what we know...
They explained the Emerald Dream as being like summer and spring. Whether this is like winter and autumn.
Yeah, I wouldn't really like call it the Dark Mirror, just the opposite.
I'm just reading up the notes I got. Thank you, MMO champion.
Definitely a mirror, but not a dark mirror.
So basically it's a place where spirits of nature go to rest after death, obviously, and then are reborn like Cenarius, because certain orc sort of killed him.
Yeah, but then he came back.
Yeah, because he was in Ardenweald, chillaxing, getting his power back. He's like, I'm back, Cenarius.
I'm back. Screw you all.
This is clearly the prettiest zone of it. I think it's prettier than Bastion.
Yes.
There's a screenshot showing this huge tree going up to the starry night sky, and I'm just getting Ori and the Blind Forest vibes. That's a good thing.
It is. Oh my god. I love the color scheme of it. Where it is very like wintry, very like bluish.
Very like what you expect when you think of enchanted forest.
Very night enchanted forest.
Yeah, whereas, like, that's another thing. The Emerald Dream is basically daytime. It mirrors it by being night.
Yeah.
So I got massive world trees going to the sky. They're not world trees, but they look it.
Pretty much world trees.
But it wouldn't be probably our favourite zone in this expansion, though.
I'd say it's my second favourite.
Right now, we're going to go into our favourite zone.
Yeah.
It's Revendreth, which is Vampire City. Almost literally. It's like deserts mixed with gothic castles.
Mm-hmm.
Looks scary and evil and, looks amazing. There are mirrors, like, to burn people. It looks so cool. And it's basically you're sent here if you're prideful or a sinner. And basically if you're Kael'thas Sunstrider.
Yeah.
So apparently we're chilling with him. Which version of him? Is it the one where he's all broken with a fell like shard in his chest? Is it him at his most prideful? The way we see him in Warcraft 3?
I'd say Tempest Keep.
Only a setback. Come on.
It's only a
Revendreth was only a setback. Death was only a setback.
Okay, with I have to say it, with Revendreth, right? Shout out to anyone who's played D&D. Come on, guys, Ravenloft. It is Ravenloft to a T. I believe that is where they got their inspiration. You just look at it, you got your big gothic castles, your full dark vibes. I swear there's going to be like lycanthropes and that in there somewhere.
I mean, Worgen are going to be questing them.
Oh, yeah, for sure, but I'm talking about like better than Worgen. Like,
yeah, oh shit, because possibly since druids have ties to Ardenweald, there's definitely werewolves in this place, because Worgen as a whole are a curse.
Mm-hmm, they are.
Where would curses come from? The Shadowlands. We're getting werewolves, just you watch.
Better werewolves. With tails. But no, definitely Ravenloft vibes. If they don't do a character called Baron von Strad somewhere, even if
I guarantee there is a Baron von something.
No, it has to be von Strad. He can be a duke, he can be a count, but von Strad. Somewhere there in Revendreth, I will be happy. A lot of other people who have played through Ravenloft will be happy. But yeah, that's my take on Revendreth. Especially, I love the idea of the light breaking through. Like, it's supposed to be dark, shadowy, cloudy place, and this light breaking through that can hurt you.
Yeah, I wonder if that's an environmental effect. Like, maybe in bits of it you take damage from being out in the light too much.
Could you imagine, like, you're questing through the zone, you just hear this big booming clock bell, right? And then you just see the light just, like, breaking through the clouds coming through, and, you know, you got a little warning of, like, well, we got to get to cover.
Emergent gameplay.
Yeah, we got to get to cover, otherwise, you know, you're out there, your health just starts dropping.
And it lasts for maybe a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love that. I think WoW really I don't need it, but I think it'd be better with it. So if you're traveling through like a snowy area, it gets cold, could warm up. Even if it's like slight things like that, it'd be very cool. Yeah, Revendreth is also the site of the first raid. We storm a gothic castle.
Which looks mad, by the way. The concept art, the big ass fucking statue.
Concept art for this whole zone looks good.
You know what? I got Disney vibes from the concept art for the first raid. Do you remember the Fantasia? Malbog comes up from the mountain and he's like, you know, his big wings. Just on top of that castle, you got like the big bat-like demon-looking thing. Fucking Destiny. Disney-inspired.
Destiny-inspired?
Yep.
Guardian. But yeah, that Revendreth looks phenomenal. And now, talk about the Halo area, the Maw. Thought you did that level and escaped, but...
Hey, we're fighting against the Covenant.
And we got to meet with the Arbiter. Got to go into the Maw, so... Someone's been playing Halo, but basically the Maw is one of the most interesting sounding zones in World of Warcraft. It's a max level zone. They keep saying the area wants to kill you, which is great.
We'll see.
We will find out how much it wants to kill us when it comes out. But basically, if you die, you kill too much. The jailer, who seems to be the primary villain along with Sylvanas, is like, he has noticed you. So he's going to send stuff to try and kill you. Send like kill squads, send enemies after you.
The other thing I like about the Maw that we've been told is there is no...
Warthog?
Shut up. God damn it. There is no safe place. There's no inn. There's no place of respite. You go in there. You go in there prepared. We've been needing a zone like that for like many expansions now.
And there's a feature in this zone that I think WoW has needed for a very long time, and I've always wanted it to be in World of Warcraft, and that is Torghast, the Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror. Went on that ride, it's fun ride.
Torghast, Tower of the Damned. And that is literally a roguelite game inserted into it. A bit of Diablo, a bit of Dead Cells. It's a tower where you get upgrades as you go, the layout, the enemies change, the floors, everything shifts each run. Beautiful, replayable content. I almost said combat.
Yeah, well, there is a lot of combat in it, yeah.
There is a lot of combat, but there's also a lot of content in here. I particularly love that kind of game where you keep going at it, you try and earn these permanent powers to get further and further and further. It's not a time mode. The dungeon scales between being able to be done solo to being done in duos, trios, the fourth one in Spanish,
Quads.
and 5 players.
No, it was Quad Squad.
Doing the quad squad.
Going back a bit to, you get powers the higher you go. So you get powers for the tower, but
Yeah.
you can also get permanent powers, which is good. Like, it's a sense of reward, accomplishment. Like, you
So
can
it's a
get,
progression.
yeah, like, okay, I've gone into the tower, I've made it this far. Yeah, I've got all these powers, but they're going to reset the next time I come in. But then I've got this power, which I can keep,
And the fact you're also earning something towards your legendary as well.
which is even
So,
better.
which is why I call it roguelite, not roguelike, because roguelites give you some permanent progression, and roguelikes reset your progress entirely. But yeah, so it's really my favorite feature of this expansion. Don't know about you, but like to be able to try and climb this tower, for not just trying to get further and further, but for also to create your own legendaries by the guy we assume created Frostmourne and the Helm of Domination. I want that guy to design my shit.
Yeah, legendaries are back. Yes. Weird absence of them in
BFA?
yeah, BFA. What? Don't know what happened there. Legion, we had plenty, but I want to know,
What love is.
because it says we can build our own legendary. Don't stop me on that song. I want to know how much you can make and customize a legendary. Like, are we talking about we get to choose what it looks like, or is it just going to be a trinket that we can't physically see, or a neck that we can't physically see?
It has to be something physical. Blizzard must have got feedback from the Art of Azeroth that we all have this, but there's nothing to it. Unlike artifacts where, oh, he's got the Ashbringer and they've customized that, they've got this. I'm thinking it won't be like that. I'm thinking it definitely will be you pick the thing, but it won't be the standard thing. So maybe you have to craft it out of different parts to make your own, I don't know, your own sword, your own axe, your own
Well, yeah,
gun.
that's what I want to know. Like, how unique of a legendary can we make? Because I'm guessing there's going to be people that have the same looking sword, but obviously different stats, different perks, different whatever. That's what I want to know.
Balance of that's interesting, but yeah, I do wonder how much we can make it truly our own.
And do we get to name it? That is another thing. Or will we have to choose from a list of, oh, you have created...
Or you found the schematic to the bow of the maw.
Yeah.
With knowledge of how World of Warcraft works, it's database heavy. I'm not so sure it's going to like, okay, this player added this item. So, I don't know, it'd be good if we could name it. It'd be good if it follows a lot of what the artifacts did in terms of, you know, you got the Ashbringer, but you could make it yours. So
Yeah.
whereas this one is your own legendary, you should make it yours. You should make it that weapon that you, the legendary hero who saved the world every single time it needed saving, you should have a legendary. You should be famous. People should know your name.
Like, I would love to make a legendary weapon, but I would also, like, just because of, like, how it is, I would love to make the most evilest looking blade, but make it the most holiest light-bringing weapon. Or make the most holiest light-bringing spear or that, and make it the most darkest, evilest thing. Like, I would love to be able to do stuff like that. Because that would be fun, it'd be hilarious, but it'd be cool. And it'd give you, like, you know, it could be a corrupted... You could be making a corrupted legendary.
Yeah, and it should be up to the player to kind of create the legendary thereafter, including effects and all that. It creates an interesting thing for balance. Basically, they're saying they kind of did this because in Legion, you got a legendary, you've no idea what it's going to be, and 90% of the time it's going to be one you didn't want. Which that's a problem for RNG, which they are attempting to tackle with like weekly chests, being able to pick which one you want.
Which is amazing. Because that annoyed the hell out of me with weekly chests. Because with me, I would always get the same thing at least twice. And then I'd get something I don't need or I've already upgraded, so that makes that item worthless. Like, it'd always be like, I really need a replacement trinket. I got boots again. Alright, next week, I got boots again. Third week, need a replacement trinket, but I got these nice cool shoulders because, you know, they're cool. You get shoulders. But they're the worst, not even an upgrade at all. And you're like, I just want a trinket. Come on, that's all I need is one trinket.
RNG has been a major issue in World of Warcraft that they've really gone all the way into, like, so hard with Titan Forging. And now they seem to have gone like, oh, get out of there.
Stop that. But yeah, again, the Tower of the Dam, Targos, you know, that is apparently the tower we saw in the cinematic.
Yep, that is the not Ice Crown Citadel. The upside down one.
They say it's ever changing. I want to know exactly how different it will be, because I'm guessing there are going to be times where you're like, I've been in this room.
Well, yeah, because it's going to be built out of rooms. But I suspect that enemies will shift, traps will change.
That's the thing. How many variations of, like, the same, I'm doing the quotation marks, the same room can you have? Other than item and weapon and enemy, maybe a different design on the walls. How many times can you do that before it's like, I've already done this?
I mean, like, when you think about those roguelike games, like Dead Cells and stuff, you eventually do come through the same rooms. Like Rogue Legacy, they have that same room multiple times, but how it's set up is different. And in a game I play called Chasm, most rooms are randomly generated entirely out of different pieces, so that it really creates a almost unique room every single time, but obviously it's going to be familiar. So I think Torghast will be familiar. I'm curious if they do even change the areas, or if they just go, oh, we're changing up the enemies and stuff. That's different.
Yeah, then it's like, it's not really rogue.
No, then it's less interesting.
It's more just like, oh, we're going through the same rooms.
Again and again. It gets repetitive.
Like, there's nothing new to look at, nothing new to run through. It's just different enemies.
I think Blizzard, because they made Diablo, they know how to make a random dungeon crawler.
Well, yeah, I would hope so. We're like, they did pretty freaking well with their one in Diablo.
There's going to be a lot of situations where they lean on other teams within Blizzard who have already mastered it effectively. Yeah, shifting back to the zones, so I want to talk about that one thing that has been described as the Dalaran of this expansion, even though they literally brought up Khadgar wanted to bring Dalaran.
Yeah, they wanted to bring Dalaran.
I wish he brought it. And like Dalaran just gets completely destroyed coming into it. So it's like a zone that's just Dalaran like destroyed. And like Khadgar just standing in the middle going, Shouldn't have done that, just a boy. Okay, so the new undestroyed Dalaran is called Oribos. It's a city between worlds where all the souls can come to me and we
talk shit to the Alliance and the Alliance talk shit to us, but they can't understand us unless we have Elixir of Tongues.
Doesn't that just grow like 3 more tongues?
Yes.
It sort of grows. Stop it. Yeah, so Oribos is the home of the Arbiter.
We do not know where the Master Chief is, so I'm guessing that's going to be a quest to go find him.
No, that'll be in the next game. He actually turns up on Earth.
We have to go fight Cortana.
You mean the jailer?
Yeah.
So this city is kind of like a big melting pot of where we all go and chill out. So, curious what it looks like. We have nothing to go into on that, because they showed us nothing other than a name, other than it's going to have some big, probably soul thing in the middle. It's a very ancient city located at the heart of the Shadowlands. Shifting back to the zones, each zone has a covenant. There's 4 of them. You can join with the Arbiter, the Prophets of Regret, Truth and Mercy.
Funny.
So it's basically the equivalent of the war campaign for BFA, except there's 4 of them.
Which is cool. I like that.
Still less than the Legion class-based ones, but they still really work into those choices. And you basically get to max level, and then you pick a covenant. And you seem to be only able to really pick one. They did say you can change it if you really want to, but it's not recommended.
The price is high, apparently.
And so what they did announce was it's basically, obviously, the new version of class halls.
You also get Sanctums. Supposed to be like the place in Suruma that you like...
Nightfall and Land.
Yeah, where you like slowly change it as you progress. Again... Just give us player housing. Guild bases, player housing, just give it to us. Come on. You should just toying with us now. Come on.
Yeah, I think it'd be a cool addition, but I do like how you upgrade them back like that other one. So it starts off being this danky old, miserable place.
Oh no, I reckon the Ironweald one would be pretty cool. Oh, this is just a hole in the ground.
Like a burrow.
Yeah, you just under this tree, and you're like, oh hey, this is where you sit, but everyone else you're gonna get is gonna be up in that tree above your dingy little hole.
Like a bunch of Ewoks and you're just the outcast. Oh, I hope it's built around a tree. That'd be phenomenal.
Treehouse.
Like built in and up it. Could be cool.
Like the elven treehouses in Lord of the Rings.
Literally that.
Just give me that.
So basically, each covenant has 2 abilities, one being to your class, one being to the covenant. Some of them they've announced that you turn into a little fox, you run fast, which is real cute. And with the vampire one, you can teleport, like Reaper, they say. So, yeah. They're obviously tied to the zone, so as I said, when I'm talking about the Bastion Zone, the Kyrians, they're a choice. Necrolords, they're from Eldraxis, the Night Fae, from Ardenweald. The Venthyr, which is from Revendreth, who are the one most people are going to pick because they sound awesome.
Gotta say, I was a little disappointed that they didn't just go with the Sen Lane.
Yeah, true. Allied Rest, come on.
Yeah, give us that one. Like, if they don't do a mention of the Sen Lane where the Venthyr are, even if it's like the Sen Lane or an offshoot of Venthyr, that'd be cool.
They're not really talking about that. They're probably going to... You'll find out more when the beta ends up and everybody just digs into the data and finds out every little thing.
Yeah, oh joy. No surprises anymore. Let's not even play the game. Let's just listen to the data miner.
Yeah, like there's no surprises. Like, talking about all the Pokemon Sword and Shield leaks, they've leaked the whole Pokedex. So
yeah,
it's like... There's no surprise when you come across anything.
Yeah, there's not going to be any like, oh, what's that? It's like, oh, it's this one. Okay.
Oh, it's this one. I already saw that. Anyway, not talking about Pokemon. Another feature of it is Soulbinds, which are basically they say it's not bodyguards. It's bodyguards.
Yeah, it is bodyguard.
But better. It's sort of a mix of bodyguards and the artifact system with how you kind of pick and upgrade them to upgrade yourself with other characters, which is, I think, is a really neat idea. Curious where they go with it. I think it'll be cool to just go with all these different characters. They don't really reveal all of them. Can we soulbind with Kael'thas, become an arrogant prick?
Yes.
With just setback after setback? Oh, please. Every time you die, death is only a setback. Okay, Blizzard, please give us Kael'thas.
You thought you'd killed me, you'd only killed that Night Elf pretender.
On your Kael'thas. So basically you empower these guys through the story, through your adventures, and you can pick the character that best suits you with what they do, and you get to learn a bit about them, why they're dead, what they're doing now that they're dead, and what death's like.
Just like any Death Knight, I'll tell you.
So that's a major part of the expansion. So that's largely all the new features coming with it, apart from changes to leveling as a whole, which maybe we'll get into in a separate video. I think the final thing you obviously got to talk about is definitely the changes to classes, where they haven't mentioned talents whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's happening with them.
We're going back to level 60, talent trees. You can do it. You can do it.
And they're going to do that again, unfortunately.
Do it. It's the best way to do this game.
But yeah, they're going more for class fantasy over spec.
Yeah, play the class for the class, not because you want to play a holy paladin or a affliction warlock.
Beast mastery hunter. You're a hunter, first and foremost. So what they're doing is they're adding things that you would expect from these classes to have. Paladins having auras.
They're giving back what they took away from us.
Eyes of the Beast is coming back. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm just happy to have persistent freaking totems back as a shaman.
That is lovely. Shamans should never have lost them as a persistent part. It's like they bring back poisons to every rogue spec.
Which is great.
Like, come on, curses, they're coming back to locks.
Yep. Half of the warlock arsenal right there. Okay, with paladins with their auras, am I going to get Righteous Fury back? And just be able to generate threat non-stop?
Why does it matter?
Because it makes tanking so much easier.
But you have it inbuilt. The increases to threat would put into the spec.
Don't care, I just want it back.
You just want that stupid little aura thing to go, look, that guy's the tank.
Yeah, he's tanking. Yeah.
What about the little shield you get in a dungeon?
Fuck the little shield thing.
Don't actually do that, you probably get some kind of disease.
Yeah.
But yeah, like they're talking about mages being the master of the elements, as they should have been using fire, frost, and arcane to their advantage. Shaman's finally been cool again.
Yes.
Yeah, with bringing back iconic abilities. All the ones they listed were like Raised Dead, Frost Shock, Consecration, which technically is a talent. Ursul's Vortex, which I didn't know was iconic. Definitely a cool move. Shiv and Death Coil. I'm not talking about hunters there, but they talk about it later. Changing to things off talents, which are like Demonic Circle is no longer a talent, it's just part of it. Summon Gargoyle is just the thing Death Knights could do. Hunter's Mark's a thing again.
Yay. Get to play for friggin' Unholy once again, because I don't need a talent to get it.
Paladins of Hammer of Wrath, which should never have been a talent, is the thing like, when you're fighting a paladin, you get down in that range, you're like, oh no, this is dangerous. Same with Killshot. Killshot's coming back. I'm very excited about that. Now I can successfully steal your kills again. You just run in there like, Killshot, god damn it, that hunter just took my thing. It's very good that they're kind of taking what Classic did and unpruning what they pruned, because as Ian Hazzikostas said, like, they overdid it. They definitely did overdo it, because a lot of the fun utility stuff that was in the game was then gone. Like Eyes of the Beast, like, sure, useless ability, but it was very cool as a hunter.
Useless? Best ability out there.
I mean, it is the number one best ability.
If I want to run around as my Devil Sword and cause mischief and mayhem, I want to run around as my Devil Sword and cause mischief.
I like that in PvP you can do it, just chase someone as your pet.
It's like, well, I'm not going to catch them. You, go. Get them.
And sort of finally now it leads into new customizations, which is very good. They didn't show off even more than... They showed us 4 races, and those were only some of what they're doing, so...
Shout out to all the role players for finally being heard and getting stuff that we've wanted for like ever. Okay.
And thanks to everyone else who plays World of Warcraft and wanted customization. Not just the role players.
No, but like...
But no, definitely on the roleplay side of things, it does help you create your character better, because you can be the character you imagine yourself as.
The blow up on the roleplay servers, just in trade chat general and that, because of that, was just outstanding.
As I was saying, humans can be everything they want to be, basically.
Yes, we can be different diversities now. It's happy.
So trolls are getting a lot more different choices of what kind of troll they want to be. They didn't go too far into that, but we're praying they add the frost trolls.
Yeah, apparently we can be all the troll races.
We can be sand trolls.
We can be...
Which is sick.
We can be the sand trolls and we can be the forest trolls now. Because apparently all we've had is jungle trolls.
That's literally all we've had, and Sandalaria is still jungle trolls.
Yeah, they are. But like...
They're just the fancy smancy ones.
Yeah, but we can finally have, Amani.
You can have your different... And another cool thing is that eye colour is separate from your face.
Yes. Which should have been since the start, because every other MMO does eye colour separately.
Let's not talk about what every other MMO does better than World of Warcraft. Dwarves can finally be wild hammers.
Finally. Oh my god.
A wild hammer death knight.
Just wild hammer in general.
Wild hammer hunter. Give me that.
You know what's going to suck though for a wild hammer hunter though?
Nothing.
You've got to do the class campaign and then do all the Broken Shore stuff to get your class mount to be able to tame griffins and that.
Oh shit.
I hope they change that. Please Blizzard, change that.
Otherwise, if I'm making a dwarf hunter, it's going to be wild hammer and I want a griffin.
Come on, or at least let them be able to have griffins from the start.
Do that, actually, but they're not going to be their own separate thing. They're just going to be dwarves. So you're probably not getting your specific... I think they're just tattoos, really.
I don't care.
Just fix it, Blizzard. And finally...
Give me my fucking...
Undead can now be boneless, like chicken wings.
That I want to know how in-depth that can be. Like, can I have my arms and legs fully fleshed but still show ribcage and spine? Can I still have, like, a rotting face but be, like... fully fleshed everywhere else? Is it just going to be pieces that we can have showing or not showing? Or is it just going to be like, alright, you can either have your bones sticking out or no bones sticking out?
I'm pretty sure it's one or the other. I don't think you have too much choice in what kind of look you want. I think you either have the bones sticking out or you're just non-bony. I'm curious how many hairstyles and how many other options are added, because I already showed off a heap. Customization is something World of Warcraft is definitely getting better at. with allied races and new stuff. I wonder how much. I hope Nightborn get more than just like the 4 faces.
True. Actually, will trolls now be able to stand upright?
Orcs can do it.
Orcs can do it.
Zandalari can do it. I wonder if the troll model like that is just like, it is not built to stand up properly.
Okay, if that is so, then why can Gurubashi stand upright and Amani stand
We're not talking about the Gurubashi.
I know, but we're all fucking using the Darkspear model. I want to stand upright.
I mean, sand trolls don't stand upright. I don't know. Hopefully that comes under the customization thing of like, who's doing what? Who's standing up straight? Who's got cool hairstyles? But yeah, like Shadowlands as a whole, as an expansion, I think they're definitely on the right track again. BFA was a bit of a shit show for Blizzard as a whole. There were good parts, a lot of bad parts, especially at the start, where they really didn't add much, and it took them ages to add anything people really wanted to see and do. And hopefully this expansion is the good one, because we had the bad one, we had the good one, and Cataclysm was technically also considered a bad one. So the cycle has continued on the way we love it. So the sequel to Shadowlands? Probably trash. Shadowlands though, thumbs up.
Unless Shadowlands is the end. If this is the last expansion.
The end of World of Warcraft.
And then they do World of Warcraft 2. Ah.
Well, Overwatch 2 actually sort of goes against my thoughts. On like, I didn't think it'd be any sequel, as they're putting it. But anyway, anything else to add before we leave the Shadowlands till 2020?
I don't want to go. Let's stay here now.
Alright, so I think that's about it for talking about the Shadowlands. It is the end, and thank you so much for joining me, Doctor.
Always a pleasure.
I'm Mitch, and this has been a Playing with Pixels discussion, where we spoke about Shadowlands, obviously. If you liked it, smash that subscribe button, like that bell button.
Literally, smash it. We'll even supply the hammers.
As long as you comment, give us the hammer.
Give us
As proof that you know we need the hammers. Well, you need the hammers. We're not going to destroy it, because that's how you get banned on YouTube. You don't smash. You don't actually smash the thing. You get someone else to smash it. That way, you blame them and call them like your follower name, like I don't know, the Pixelers or the boys. I don't know. Anyway, the boys. Anyway, thanks for everybody. Hopefully, we'll see you again, and goodbye.
Ishnola. Weary traveler. It's gonna be like a couple of seconds of me just doing this fucking thing.